Alrighty, that brings us to our main topic, our main segment of the day, our power rankings. Where do the teams lie after 6 full weeks of games? We've got some good undefeated teams. We've got some, some hit or miss teams, but we are going to have a little bit of a shakeup in our top 10. So without further ado, let's get to it. New Orleans Saints are no longer the number 10 team, even though they didn't play. I did want to move up a couple of teams, so there is a little shift here. Saints are no longer 10. Are they on here still? Well, you'll just have to wait and find out. But our new number 10 team is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray did not play very well, and that is something to be concerned with. But overall, of what this team showed that they can do last night, their defense was great. I don't put a date on these. So the Arizona Cardinals, last night, I mean, it proved, their defense can play at a high level. They do have some good playmakers, some nice interceptions, and some good fumble forces. Kyler Murray didn't play well, but they still found ways to win and put up a lot of points. I can definitely respect that. I can respect that the offense was able to create opportunities to score points off of utilizing short fields. I'm 100% with that. Playing great. I mean, they gave up, what did they give up? 7 points? 7, 10? 10 points. I mean, I can definitely get behind that as well. The one thing I don't like that I am continuing to see and wish I didn't see, they forced DeAndre Hopkins the ball. Once again, another kind of red flag, but they were still able to put up 38 points. They were able to still kind of, get out of that slow start. Forcing the turnover. So good defense leads to good offense. Definitely have to keep an eye on Kyler Murray. This Dallas defense isn't anything special, so the fact that he had 33% completion percentage is a little alarming. But overall, the offense is still good, and they're still able to put up 38 points, and Kyler Murray is still good, and I think I got to rock with the Cardinals. There is some red flags, though, so I'm going to keep them at number 10. We've had them in our power rankings before the season, but we had to throw them off after they started 2-0, and then they went 0-2, and then, last week they had the Jets, and they looked okay. They put up 30. Then they put up 38 last week, but the Jets and Dallas defenses really aren't anything special. But I'm still liking what I'm seeing. But I'm not liking everything that I'm seeing. But, in the grand scheme of things, there's not a lot of great teams in this league. There's not a lot of even good teams in this league. I think the Cardinals, on their best day is very good, maybe even great. But, some red flags. That's why we're not going to move them up any past 10. We definitely need to see what they do next week. Who do they face next week? Let me see that, because that will be a huge tell. Cardinals, come on. Load it up. All right, we'll come back, because I'm not going to sit here all day. Alrighty. See if I can refresh this. You're going to come up? Going to pop up? Perfect. All right. Cardinals next week. Seahawks, oh my God, they're at home. This is going to be a true game. So, yeah, definitely room for, improvement from this 10 position from the Cardinals if they can come out and play very well against the Seahawks, no doubt. But, that's going to be, a telling game, definitely. All they need to do, the Cardinals, to keep that kind of number 10 position. If they lose to the Seahawks, that's not going to be, my main indication of, do I move the Cardinals back off this list? It's, are they competitive? How are they winning? How are they losing? I need to see it all. But they definitely have a chance to stay on the top 10 even if they lose. And if they win it, I mean, they can definitely move up a couple spots. But Cardinals are the new number 10 team. Alrighty, number 9. We are going to move the 49ers up here. They definitely impressed me of what they were able to do last week. They didn't bench Jimmy Garoppolo in the second half. They were able to kind of hold that Rams offense to not a lot of points, under 20. That's where you want to go. And, the 49ers were moving the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't turn the ball over. 3 touchdowns, successful, efficient game. And that's what I wanted to see from them in a division game, a good game. A game against a good opponent in the Rams. So I like what the 49ers brought, and I may be able to buy them a little bit. We did knock the Raiders out of the top 10. They're on the bye, so they are going to suffer for that, unfortunately. But definitely do want to see more of that Raiders team. But are they hit or miss? Are they spotty? Sure. But their offense is explosive. That's why I do like them. But we'll see what they do next week. But I think I like the 49ers a little bit better. I think I like the better quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. over Derek Carr, and the way that they were able to kind of rebound off that bad game, that, shows a real testament to great coaching and everybody buying in. If you get smacked in the mouth and you come back and rebound with the win, no turnovers, you put up the points, I can definitely buy that and respect it. So we do move the 49ers into the top 10 because of the win. And unfortunately, we do have to move the Raiders out. Unfortunate. They didn't get to play to defend themselves, but, that's how it goes sometimes. Unfortunate. What have you done for me lately? That's what I need to see. Alrighty, so new number 8, Cleveland Browns are definitely off the top 10. They're kind of like Buffalo, that they need to prove that they can win the games against the good teams. I don't care what you do against Dallas or the Jets or early Miami. I don't care what you did against those teams. What have you done for me lately? And we are going to move these Saints into number 8. So they were the number 10 position, but I did want to make room for the Cardinals and the 49ers. So we had to move the Saints up a little bit here, move the Browns out, move the Raiders out. So we moved the Saints up a little bit here. Overall, on paper, their offense is loaded. Their defense is loaded. They've got a head coach who, usually runs a tight ship there. Although, when they do lose, it's because the defense, commits a lot of penalties, a lot of pass interference, a lot of holding, and just giving the offense free yards and, free easy third down. So I do like the Saints team. I like Drew Brees. I like all their weapons. And once, they get Thomas back, they'll be all set. And hopefully they can, be good. I mean, they're still talented on paper. They had a bye, so can't read too much into that. But overall, I like what I see from the Saints. And just because we moved some teams out of the top 10, moved some teams up, we had to force them up to number 8. We'll see what they do this week. Coming off the bye, but it should be good. It should be kind of, this is going to be a true week for them coming off the bye. You need to be good off your bye. You need to get all your kind of wrinkles ironed out. A lot, basically every team looks forward to the bye. All right, we're going to try this. If it doesn't work, we'll try to correct it in the bye and go forward from there. Or, oh, it's working. Let's perfect it during the bye. Oh, we lost. We're not a great team going up to the bye. Let's get to a good team. Let's find out how to do it. We got an extra week, folks. We're going to take it. We're going to, do everything we need. So a huge game this week for the Saints for coming off the bye. So we'll see how they perform. But the Saints are the new number 8 team. Alrighty, the Rams, we're going to leave them at number 7. They've been kind of in this 7 limbo basically for the entire season, kind of up and down, but I think 7's a good spot for them. I like what they can do offensively, but sometimes they don't show that they can do that. We've seen teams we've seen games where they score under 20 points. That's alarming, folks. I don't want to see teams in the top 10 of our power rankings not scoring 20 points. You need to score 20 points. If you don't score 20 points, do not expect to win the game. And the Rams just shoot below that sometimes, and the offense doesn't click, but then sometimes the offense is very good. So I mean, they're good defensively. They usually hold teams to around that 25 point mark where you kind of want to be. So I really don't know how I feel about the Rams. I like their offense. I like their head coach. I like the receivers, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, and I think Jared Goff's a very good quarterback, and then Sean McVay, the head coach. I mean, I think he's still smart, but definitely want to see more of them. Let's see how they, fare later in the season. But I think for right now, the Rams, yes, they lost last week. I still think they're number 7. I still think they do. I think they're number 7. There's a lot of not great teams in this league, folks. There's truly not great teams in this league. So I think the Rams are definitely the 7th best team in the league, even though they do have a lot of red flags. So we'll see what they do this week. Are they on a bye this week? Who's on a bye this week? Ravens, Dolphins, Vikings, Colts. So where are they? The Rams. The Rams got the Bears on Monday Night Football this week, so definitely a telling win. This Bears defense has been absolutely fantastic, but the Rams are at home. Hopefully their offense can kind of keep up. But Rams at 7, I think is a good place for them. Alrighty, here we go. A new number 6 team. The Ravens are no longer number 6, and we have a team falling big here, folks. We've got the Green Bay Packers. They lose. They don't look great, so we're dropping them all the way from number 2 to number 6, unfortunately. Just not a great game for the Packers, especially coming off the bye, and they didn't perform very well. Not great. Their scripted plays were good. Their first 2 drives all ended in points, so that was good. But then Aaron Rodgers tried to do too much, and back-to-back turnovers really ruined the game. So the Packers really only lost 1 quarter. They lost the second quarter. Those 2 turnovers, and the Bucks were able to score 28 points out of that. But other than that, the first quarter they won. The second and third quarters were close as well. So I'm not going to penalize the Packers too much. The loss off the bye is not good, but they really kind of only lost 1 quarter in that game. Other than that, they were kind of competitive and were close. So we're going to leave the Packers here in the top 10. I don't think they deserve to come off the top 10 for that. Aaron Rodgers is still showing great things. They still have a lot of pieces offensively that seem to be working. And their defense, besides that second quarter and those turnovers and, everything that happened, played a decently solid game. Let's go back to it real quick. I mean, you take out these 28 points in the second quarter, you're looking at, 10 to 18. I mean, 10 to 10. It's a very close game. So just that second quarter really got out of hand for the Packers because of those turnovers. I mean, I'm not saying that they didn't deserve to lose the game. I'm not making excuses for the Packers. It's just those interceptions really turned the tide of the entire game. And, Aaron Rodgers was never the same after that. Kind of seemed like a pack it up, let's go home mentality. It's over at halftime, and he's just truly unfortunate. But I expect the Packers to kind of rebound, and the Bucks, definitely promising. We'll see what they do. I still don't have them in my top 10 just quite yet. I maybe should, but I'm not going to. Tom Brady's been a lot of hit and miss so far this season. Kind of good against the bad teams. Bad against the good teams, but they did just beat the Packers. So that is definitely good for them, but I do want to hold out one more week for the Bucks. I'm not a big fan of how they're still scoring the ball. I don't like that they're going to Gronk a lot. You've got great receivers here, folks. Gronk should not be your number 1 receiver. Mike Evans should not have 1 catch for 10 yards. That's all I'm saying. So would like to see him use his wide receiver weapons a little bit more, and that's why they're not in our top 10. So Packers take number 6. Alrighty, number 5 is going to be the Ravens, so we move them up 1 spot. The game was kind of close on paper, the final score, but as I said, I'm kind of treating this game as like a 17-0 halftime win for the Ravens. The Eagles could not do anything. Miles Sanders jumpstarts the offense somehow, and then Carson Wentz wants to try and come alive. But overall, the Ravens, they do put up a lot of points. The one thing that concerns me, and this is why they're not any higher on the power rankings, is because Lamar Jackson doesn't go out and throw it 250 yards a game, and that's how you kind of have to win in this league. His run game really sets up the pass. His run game is a huge proponent of his game in general. I'm not a big fan of that. I would like to see you use your legs as kind of like an escape option, a safety blanket, not a main feature. So that's why we have the Ravens at only number 5. But other than that, their offense is good. Lamar Jackson's good. He gets it done. He doesn't really turn the ball over, but would like to see him throw the ball a little bit more and maybe run a little less. Alrighty, but it's getting wins, so, who am I, right? All right, number 4 is going to be the Chiefs, so we bumped them up 1 spot as well. Great win against Buffalo. Great job by Patrick Mahomes. I mean, very efficient game. Only 5 incompletions. Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting it done, 161 yards. I mean, and they just bring in Le'Veon Bell. So they're getting they have so many pieces offensively. They've got so much speed. Clyde Edwards-Helaire just bringing in the beef. So, I mean, this Chiefs team is very good. Then they just went into Buffalo last night and absolutely kind of destroyed them. Really shut them down. So, love what the Chiefs are doing at number 4. Definitely respectable. It's just sometimes the Chiefs kind of get late to the party scoring-wise, have to do a lot in the fourth quarter sometimes, so that's why they're no higher than 4. Alrighty, Pittsburgh Steelers, number 3. Are they still number 3? Yes, they're still number 3. I mean, what a great game by them. In their first real competition, their hardest game on the schedule thus far this season, and they hold them to 7 points, and they put up 38, and they just look good all over. Big Ben is not turning the ball over. Just solid performances, 14 of 22, 162 yards, touchdown. James Conner, 100-yard rusher. Chase Claypool, 74 yards, receiving. So, this receiving core of the Steelers is truly great. James Washington, Chase Claypool, and Juju Smith-Schuster, all tall, fast receivers. And then the safety blanket, Eric Ebron, for the tight end position. So, absolutely in love with the Steelers defense, and the Steelers offense is just good too, folks. I mean, the Steelers team, they have everything. So number 3, third best team in the league, definitely. I can definitely see that. All right, number 2, who is it going to be? Well, look no further. We're going to put, you know what? I'm going to make the switch. The new number 2 team is the Seattle Seahawks. They're off the bye, so unfortunately they couldn't prove this week of why they should be number 1, and the Titans came in and really swept it up too. So I'm going to put the Tennessee Titans on number 1. I mean, I'm absolutely in love with them. Ryan Tannehill goes and throws 300 yards. Derrick Henry goes rush for 200 yards. They put up 42 points. They're coming back, from this high explosive Houston team. This is not the 0-4 Houston team that we all know and love from the beginning of the season. This is a newfound Houston team that is utilizing all their weapons and putting up the points every week. We saw 32 weeks ago. We saw 36 on Sunday. So this was not an easy opponent for the Titans. Most likely, their hardest opponent this season. And I'm going to make their switch. I think the Titans are now the best team in the league. Ryan Tannehill, they can do it. They've proven that they can win, by moving the ball on the ground with Derrick Henry. They've proven that they can win with Ryan Tannehill throwing it for 350 yards. They've proven that they can both cohesively work together and, put up the big points. So, I mean, this Titans team, they're so well coached. Everybody buys in. That COVID thing would have killed 80% of these teams. I mean, these teams would have just cannibalized internally because of that COVID situation. Oh, it's your fault. It's not my fault. Don't look at me. It's him. We're getting ripped in the media. So now, I'm kind of like a superstar on the team and I don't want to be disrespected. So, now my play goes down because my fans aren't cheering me on and I'm getting slandered by the press. That narrative would have killed 80% of the teams, but this Titans team is strong. Everybody buys in. Nobody's bigger than the team. I mean, I said that all the time in basketball when I was talking about the Miami Heat, but I think we have to talk about that with the Titans. Nobody's bigger than this team. Everybody buys in. Everybody does their job. In love with this Titans team. So we moved the Seahawks back to number 2. It's just unfortunate. They're on a bye this week, can't have that recency bias, I guess. So it's unfortunate, but we are going to move. This was a real last-minute decision, folks. Originally, I do have Seahawks as my number 1 on my pre-notes going into the show, but I've been thinking about it literally the entire show. Do I make the switch? Do I not? And I think it's fair that I do. Both of these teams officially have their bye. The Titans got moved up a little earlier because of COVID, and Seattle just had their bye, so they're both 5-0, both looking very good offensively, both looking very good defensively, but just what have you done for me lately? Titans in probably their toughest opponent yet this season. Kind of a shorter week because they had the Bills on Tuesday night 2 weeks ago. Love the Titans, absolutely love them. The Seahawks, they just didn't play this week. It's unfortunate. I could not see them in action. Could not see, if Russell Wilson is going to continue to be Russell Wilson, or is he going to show Aaron Rodgers? You know what I mean? Is he going to have an Aaron Rodgers game? Who's going to crumble first, Titans or Seahawks or Steelers? But I mean, these are easily the 3 best teams in the league. They've got great offenses and they have great defenses. Titans defense isn't as great as Seattle's or the Steelers, but I mean, man, oh man, Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry combo last week. I mean, truly amazing. I mean, 6 touchdowns between those two. All the yards, the game-winning drives, the overtime drives, just confident, cool, calm, collected. I love it. I love what I see from the Titans. So this is the new top 10 going into week number 7. I mean, it's close. I mean, we got to put the Bucs in here at some point, but who is going to be the team that loses so the Bucs can get on here? The Bucs have all the talent. They just have to string together some wins. I would probably put the Bucs at number 11 and probably the Raiders at number 12. So that's the outside looking in, Bucs and Raiders most likely. What do I got here? Anything else? Any other teams outside looking in? I don't think so. I don't think so. Can't put the Patriots. Yeah, so Bucks and Raiders, and they play each other. Look at that. This week they play each other. So, definitely could, potentially fight their way in at number 10 if another team loses at the bottom. But, yeah, there's really not that many great teams. Bucks, Raiders, both outside looking in. Maybe you put the Bears, but I don't trust Nick Foles. And until he starts showing me something great, I need like a solid 3-week stretch of him completing 65% of his throws and looking good. Don't think he can pull it off. So, I mean, there's truly just not that many great teams in this league, folks. We'll see what Tua does in 2 weeks. Maybe he can make a splash. Dolphins at 3-3. Defense is looking good. Possibly put them at maybe 13, number 13 outside looking in. Raiders. Bucks at number 11, Raiders at 12, Dolphins at 13, Bears at 14, most likely. That's how I would rank the outside looking in. But we'll see what happens on week number 7. Gonna be a good